What's up, Cool Nation? It's me, Coolness17, the coolest of the cool. That's me. Today we're gonna mix up the format of PengView, So I'm gonna be making a bunch of changes to the series. First of all, I'm not going to restrict it to just bad movies. No, I'm also gonna talk about good movies, though the majority of my lineup here. The majority of the reviews are going to be about bad movies, so yeah, but I will talk about good movies, okay? And the second thing is that we're also reviewing TV shows too. Usually they're like singular episodes, but for the most part they're they're TV shows, alright? So we're going to start this list of changes with a show that's infamous for ripping off one of the most popular Cartoon Network shows of all time. Miracle Star is the name of this show that we're reviewing now. Miracle Star is the name of a TV show that was ripping off the Amazing World of Gumball, like I said before. Though these are literally just commercials to promote milk. That's it. Just commercials to promote milk. It was made by a company called Soyan Foods. And obviously, like I said, I'm saying this again, ripping off the Amazing World of Gumball. And the show has become quite infamous for that particular. It's become infamous for that. Like, the art style, it looks so much like Gumball. The art style, it's like Gumball. The character designs, they resemble Gumball characters, and it's literally taking the exact same concept and putting cartoon characters in like a live action setting. Though it's not live action, it's actually CGI. And the original Gumball, you wouldn't actually be able to see that. So yeah, I'm just gonna skip to the flaws of the animation right here. First of all, the characters are not that goodly animated. They really move so stiffly. And the CG, it looks absolutely horrendous. The textures are crap. They just don't look. They just look bad. Let me show them to you. This is how the CG looks. It looks so cheap. It's just something where it looks so cheap. It just doesn't look good at all. Not good in the slightest. No. So yeah, it just looks cheap in general. That's just all I have to say. It just looks cheap. That's just how it is. It just looks cheap. This is it. I can't describe it any other way. Oh yeah, it just looks cheap. It just looks cheap. I'm saying it again. And so yeah. And sometimes the movements of the characters look very laggy. And it's incredibly noticeable in characters such as the broccoli. Yeah, not only did they move stiffly, but their movements are also laggy too. Alright, so before going to the story, and by the way, since this is a TV show, and the fact that only one episode is subbed, I need to tell you that this is actually based on a commercial for milk. I already said that, so whatever. Just go into the story of the episode, and I think it's the first one. I think it's the first episode. The cream of the crop. This is the first one. This is what's to come of this series. So this episode is called Big Eater. So yeah, let me just go over it. So it starts with our two main protagonists, Miracle Star and Goya Goya. At least how I think it's pronounced. So they're eating ice cream, and they want more. But then their mother comes in and says she doesn't want them becoming big eaters. Well, then she explains what a big eater is. So now Miracle Star wants to become one. And by the way, they call him Miracle Star, but he actually has two more names. The only one I actually remember is Chi-Chi. Though they actually called him that in a certain episode of Gumball. By the way, I'll get to that. So anyways, let's just get back to it. So they're using what seems to be a Windows XP computer, and they see a video of someone eating a lot. And so Gumball decides to start training and eating as much as he can. Well, then Miracle Star becomes really fat just because he drank a bottle of Coke. Out of all the things he ate, the Coke made his stomach really fat. And so he spits it all out on Goya. It's so weird how Coke is what makes him the fattest. So, yeah. So Miracle Star's dad, who's just a ripoff of Richard, tells them that they have to do hunger training where they just starve themselves until they're hungry enough to eat a lot. So they do that. So Miracle Star does that, and while they are sleeping, Miracle Star just literally turns into a cannibal. So Miracle Star turns to normal and eats all the food in the refrigerator, but then his stomach comes out, who's literally a living entity. Oh, and by the way, this is literally ripping off an episode of Gumball. So there's this episode where Gumball's brain is its own separate entity. So it's just, seriously, this is the most, how can they rip off a show so hard? I mean, Jesus. Try and be original. So, yeah, it just fails at being original. Yeah. So then they start getting the stomach to exercise, which is something that Gumball does to his brain, that one episode I mentioned before. So, yeah, it rips it off again. So now we see Gumball at this eating contest, and he eats, and he just literally beats everyone. So Gumball goes and eats a giant cake, and his stomach takes control of him when doing that. So Gumball turns in, Miracle Star turns into Cannibal Miracle Star again. Isn't it so funny how they're so similar that sometimes I just can't even tell the difference. I sometimes mistaken Miracle Star for Gumball because they're so similar. Their designs, they're so similar. So Cannibal Miracle Star and normal Miracle Star keep on trying to Miracle Star just tries to fight the demons, but he can't do it. He can't do it. And so he eats literally everyone, and he also eats the giant cake. So Goya decides to just run out, and he seems to be cornered by Cannibal Miracle Star. But Goya decides to solve this by giving him some Coke, so he just vomits out everything.
搞定了局面，越是混乱，我发挥的越好。我的意思是，杨乐清太棒了，你终于变回来了。哦，我想起来了，我可再也不想当什么大胃王了。
So yeah, he turns back to normal and they all live happily ever after until the next episode, which I'm never gonna find subbed, so yeah. So that was Miracle Star. So yeah, overall, the animation cheap, though not the worst I've ever seen. Story also mediocre, and the voice acting is absolute crap. The dialogue, man, the ending, meh. Overall, this is the borderline of average for me. The show is just average, though. The thing that just angers me the most about it is that it's literally ripping off something that already existed, just to capitalize on it. Like, it feels so much like Gumball in some places, and there's just elements ripped like out of the show entirely. So yeah, I would just give it a 5 out of 10. But because it was ripping off something, that's shameless. That's just absolutely shameless. Whenever someone is ripping off a superior thing, it's just absolutely shameless and not good at all. So I'd have to bump it from a 5 out of 10 to just in like a 2 out of 10 or something. Though that's not where the story ends, because Gumball, I've hinted this in the video, but Gumball itself, the show that this was ripping off, actually made an episode parodying Miracle Star. Yes. It's so incredible how this exists. Yes, this is real. This is absolutely real. They actually parodied Miracle Star in their own show. It's really rare when you see something like this. It's so amazing. I mean, sure, they don't look exactly how they looked in the original Miracle Star show, but they look similar enough to get the general idea across. So this is my favorite episode of Gumball. Yeah, I really love this. Yeah, this is so epic. So, bye guys.